Well, I'm not gonna lie, Marty. I'm a little scared because I'm not very confident against Aegis, especially in this matchup. I'm just not. I think one of okay. Well, this will be the second story. I guess the first one. Well, the first one I told wasn't really a Smash story. Maybe there was a Smash story in there somewhere. But I'm gonna talk about well, not really like him as much because like he was cool, but like I don't think I have any stories around him, except for like maybe bracket stories. I don't know, we'll see. But this matchup makes me think of a player from Tucson named Will, and I think Will is like insane. Like I think he's like really good, and like Will really impresses me sometimes in game where I just like I'm very shocked at like some options he chooses and how like smart they are sometimes. And I really like, of course, as someone that plays a lot of characters, I can appreciate someone that not only is good at a lot of characters and likes playing as a lot of characters, but you know, all of that. I think it's cool. And I don't know how often he would go Aegis first me, but it would pretty much work, right? Because I think this matchup is kind of bad for Bayo. I think I don't, because again, my edge guarding is not the best of the best, obviously, and like if you don't have that, it might be kind of hard. So you know, Will would go Aegis versus me at least like 1 or 2 times, I would think, and like again, I don't think I ever beat him in Bayo Aegis. I usually didn't beat Will in the last couple of years at all, honestly. Like Will kind of handled me a bunch. I'm not gonna lie. Like Bayo or Peach or anything else really. Like Will was, I think I might have beat him at a Mr. Heads once, maybe. I really don't think I've beat him other than the potential that maybe that happened. At least in like recent years, because like in like Smash 4 and maybe a couple times like early Ultimate, I might have like I beat him, but like at when like later on I didn't really beat Will. But anyway, there was like one time at Mr. Heads, this is like the time I'm talking about, where like I don't even remember if I won or lost, but I would assume I lost. Where we were playing this matchup, I won. I swear there was a whole nother stock to play. Wanna be low, he gonna hit on my gram. If he's smart, he gonna act like a fan. Thinking you bigger, they got your head gassed. Bitches slow, so I'll give him a pass. Anyway. Fuck, I forgot what I wanted to say about that set. Because it was like really fun and it was interesting. And that point in time in Tucson, when I was going to Mr. Head's locals, that was kind of part of one major moment in my Smash career where like I started to feel like I actually was understanding how to play Bayo better, like a lot better. Like some of those Mr. Heads tournaments where I was playing Bayo was really like part of like a turning point of me, like my mindset towards Bayo and playing Bayo in general, because it also, I think like certain things I was learning at those tournaments and in bracket was like very like much like, okay, like I'm like getting it now, like certain concepts, not a lot, like there's still like I had a lot to learn and I still have a lot to learn about Bayo in general, or just playing the game that I probably never will learn, but that was one of those, and like Will was a person that like even though I was afraid to play him in bracket, to where like I would, like I'm not really afraid of playing anyone in bracket per se, but like I knew that like the odds were not in my favor if I were to like to go up against in bracket and Will, like, and I very much recognize that. Even though like I don't go into the match thinking like that, like I always pretty much go into the matches thinking I'm gonna win, even though if I know that's like absolutely not true. But despite that, I was like, I felt like when we had those sets of like Bayo Aegis, like even though I was losing, and again, this is not just Will at these events, but like this is like the best example of that time period that I distinctly remember, where like I felt like I was being pushed as a player, like by the other player while I'm learning about how to play Bayo, and it was a very, very like wonderful feeling to be like, even when I'm losing in these sets, like I feel like I'm actively learning a lot, or coming out of the match win or loss feeling like I had a better understanding of certain concepts when it comes to playing Bayonetta in general. Because again, I still think, and I think I probably thought this even more so before, that this is a bad matchup for Bayo. I really don't. I don't think it's is good for her. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm very, very optimistic about Bayo. But I was really struggling, but it was kind of like, did I just... Okay. But like, at certain points in my Smash career, I would be much like, oh, I'm not playing this matchup, it's fucking impossible, and I just would never play it, right? And I kind of started to abandon that later in my career because I understood why that was stupid. Because, like, you know, before it was like, I'm playing Ness, and I'm like, if I thought the matchup was shit, then it was like, fuck this, like, I'm playing a mid-tier ass Ness, like, why, like, you know? But then when I started playing Peach and Bayo, and I'm playing, like, top tiers, right? It's like, okay, like, even though I think it's bad, I don't necessarily think my character does not have the tools to be able to deal with this matchup. So, like, even though, like, I would rather play, like, a better character versus Will's Aegis or whatever, I was more open to the fact that, like, maybe we could just stick it out with Bayo, even though, you know, whatever, right? And that was, like, a great thing to experience as a player that, like, you know, was not only going through this journey of, like, I've played Ness for so many years, and now post-pandemic, I'm, like, really, like, leaning Peach and Bayo mostly. Even, like post-pandemic was mostly, like, Peach with other, like, a little other characters, but, like, Bayo really, like, got into the mix later as well again. Like, Bayo really came back and made, like, a resurgence or whatever from, like, in my list of, like, my lineup of characters. And then, like, you know, for the rest of time, it was, like, mainly Peach and Bayo. And then I had eras where I would fuck around with other characters and play them because I really like playing broken characters, but, by the end, and especially nowadays, like, I'm very, like, Peach Bayo, and, like, that's all I need. Like, honestly, I really can just play Bayo, and I would be fine with only Bayo, but, like, I just like playing Peach so much that, like, I don't like to just say, oh, I'm only gonna play Bayo. Even though I really can just, like, solo Bayo, and that's, like, fine with me. You know, like, I'm not really tripping about solo Bayoing at all. Like, if I was playing like that. I really would solo Bayo at this point. And I'm pretty confident in that. Is this Cuddler? I would assume so because of the Dixie profile picture. I might get cooked by Cuddler Wolf. I'm not gonna lie.